Hello and welcome. Just wanted to take a couple of minutes here to show you how to collect your soil sample for an MDD analysis. We all know that soil food webs are important and that having the right microorganisms in your soil can really impact how your crops are grown. A semi-quantitative MDD analysis can tell you whether your soil really has all the bacteria, fungi, protozoans, and other critters that help crops thrive. But sampling your soil for an MDD analysis is a little different from sampling soils for chemical analysis. For best results, we recommend that you schedule your analysis in advance. If we know you're coming, we can make sure that we set up a time so that we can get to your sample as soon as it arrives. You can call us at 575-649-3955 or send an email to support@End-O-Fite.com. Next, you need to decide where you want to take your sample. And basically, I tell people to sample from the area in their soil that they're interested in. So depending on the question you're asking, you might need one sample, you might need several samples. If we look at this illustration here and consider the square to be your entire field, you'll notice there's kind of a problem area where the plants are growing, maybe kind of looking kind of brown or not that healthy. And then you've got your regular kind of average area in the garden or field. And maybe you have a green zone where everything just seems to thrive. Well, if all you want to know is what's wrong with the problem area, that's all you need to sample. But if you want to know how these three areas are different from one another, you might need 3 samples. So ask your question, decide what question you're asking before you take your sample. Choose a day when the soil is moist, not wet. You shouldn't be able to squeeze any water out of it. Generally, 2 to 3 days after a deep irrigation is good, but that can vary a lot with soil type. So the rule of thumb is your soil should feel a little bit cool and moist in the hand, but should not be wet. Gather up your tools, and rather than a soil probe, my favorite is an apple corer. In fact, I really love this little model by Cuisinart. So it's a kitchen apple corer sample. And we like those because you're only after the top 4 inches of your soil. And, of course, this releases real easily, and it's just easier to carry around than a soil probe. If you have a soil sampling, a soil corer tool, go ahead and use that. Just keep in mind you only need the top 4 inches, so you don't need to go down very deep at all. You can use a Ziploc-type sandwich bag and a permanent marker. So when you get to your site, you're going to scrape off the leaves, the mulch, the debris from the surface, because we really only want the true soil. We don't want the stuff on top of the soil. So scrape all that stuff back, and then go ahead and press in your coring tool and take the top 4 inches of soil. And we recommend that you take several cores for a single sample, but go ahead and place that first core in your labeled Ziploc bag, and then go back and repeat that about 5 times from random locations within your target area. So again, if we're looking only at the problem area, you'd find 5 random sites collected within that problem area. Now you're going to seal your sample bag and chill it as quickly as possible. I usually take an ice chest out to the field with me so that you can put those things on ice very quickly. And the reason you want them cold is because those microbes are going to start moving around and reproducing and changing the minute you take them out of the soil. They're going to start responding differently. So the sooner you can get them cold, the more stable your sample will be. You don't want it frozen, you just want it cold like a refrigerator. Now we have a customer information form that you can download from our website, or maybe we'll email it to you during the setup. It's going to look something like this, and you basically fill in your name and contact information, and then descriptions of each sample you're sending us. So maybe you only have one, maybe you have several, but let us know some kind of identification for that sample. It might be as formal as a sample ID number, or it might be something like Grandpa's Garden, but South Pasture shown here. Just let us know where your sample's coming from, how to distinguish it from one another, so South Pasture versus the trouble area. Really, right now we're only taking soil samples, and you can let us know if it's what kind of crops were growing on there. Was it an alfalfa field? Was it a vegetable garden? The date your sample was taken. So you're going to bring that completed form with you, with your soil samples, and you can deliver them to us at our office with proper scheduling. We can often offer same-day results. You can bring samples from Doña Ana County to our office, or you can look for us at a clinic near you. We'll be setting up at some of the farmers markets around the state, and we also have growers who will host clinics, and we can go out to their site and do sampling there. So we'll keep those on our events page, and we look forward to working with you and taking a look at your soil. Thank you.